Hello, today I will be refuting the claim by Nolan that tuition-free colleges have a higher enrollment rate and are more economically viable than the publicly funded colleges. So his supporting claims were that 1, college affordability is one of the main concerns for incoming freshmen and transfer students. 2, tuition-free college works well in European countries, and 3, that free college would provide a wider access for students who could not previously afford college. So, for the first claim, Nolan states that up to 40% of low-income students who are accepted to college in the spring never make it to the first day of class in the fall. Now, these are low-income students. Low-income students have the greatest chance of receiving financial aid through grants, scholarships, and loans. An analysis in 2014 shows that a total of 1,445,732 high school graduates did not fill out a FAFSA application, and of those students, 747,579 of them would have been eligible to receive a Pell Grant. Now, another way for low-income students to obtain a higher education without the cost of a public four-year university would be to attend a community college. According to College Calc, the average annual in-state 2-year college tuition in California was $4,843 for the 2015 to 2016 academic year. And as well as college communities such as Mount San Antonio College, Citrus College, and Cerritos College have affordable costs with estimated tuition of $1,288, $1,004, and $1,288 respectively. Now, for his second claim, Nolan states that European countries such as Denmark, Germany, Sweden, and Turkey all have tuition-free colleges and that they have less student debt. However, because of these free tuition colleges, European countries have higher taxes than the US, which is... Yeah. Now, I just want to say, I want to give a definition right now. A tax wedge is the difference between before tax and after tax wages. The tax wage measures how much the government receives as a result of taxing the labor force. Now, European countries such as Germany, Finland, and Sweden have a much higher tax wedge than the United States. In 2014, Germany, Finland, and Sweden had a total tax wedge of 49.3%, 43.9%, and 42.5% respectively, while in the US, the total tax wedge in 2014 was 31.5%, so it's much lower than European countries. Now, although European countries do offer debt-free colleges, their enrollment rates are much lower compared to the US, which refutes his main claim that they have higher enrollment rates. Germany and Norway have enrollment rates of 62% and 74% respectively in 2012, while in the US, the enrollment rate was 94%. Now, Nolan has stated that free college education for more people would give more of society better jobs, causing them to spend more money, boosting the economy as a whole. But having free college education would cause taxes to increase and would hurt the economy because people would have less to spend or invest. So although students would get free college and not have to worry about it, other people would have to worry about paying off those taxes. So therefore that college free tuition does not have a higher enrollment rate and is less economically viable than publicly funded colleges. Thank you.
All the structural stuff is good. On the first point, you don't really present a counterclaim per se. You do have some good statistical information on this point, which talks about what the problems are here. I like the fact, for instance, that you cited that, you know, the students that are not going to college, a large proportion of them didn't even apply for financial assistance, which means that I think the implication here is that there are other reasons why they may have decided not to go to college, and it's not because financial assistance was not available to them, since a substantial amount was available that went unclaimed. That seems to be the inference that you're making there. Plus the argument that suggests that there are alternative ways that keep costs relatively low that students could employ as a way of getting into college and getting started on those things. And I thought that you showed some good examples. You had all kinds of data about California colleges, community colleges, as a way of illustrating that particular point. That seemed fine. So the question then becomes, what is the reason that people are not going to college when they qualify for school? The advocate seems to imply that it's a financial issue, and you've got a good response on that financial issue. On the second point, where you're talking about the tax wedge issue, I thought that was also an interesting point, that there's going to be an economic difference when people get out of school, that they're going to have to pay for this, and there's a whole explanation about that. You've got an argument buried down in this argument about the enrollment rates, and that seems to me like it's a separate argument from the cost issue, and it might have belonged up on that first point. And it directly responds to the points that the advocate is talking about. So its placement here is a little bit awkward. I couldn't tell if that was a third supporting point or if it's part of your argument concerning the tax issue. Because the tax issue comes up again. So it's like I said, it's buried between two of the tax issue arguments. So that was a little bit confusing. But I thought that statistic that you had, talking about the enrollment at some of the European universities being 62% or 74% versus the U.S., which is 94%, that seems to suggest that enrollment is not really affected strongly by the cost of going to school, or whether or not the cost is borne by the government in this situation. I thought that was a pretty good response on that point. All right, thank you.